And we are live. What is up, Brotastic Voyage Nation? It is your boy Boggsy coming at you live and in fact on a beautiful Sunday evening. Got a really exciting show for all of you guys, and we appreciate you guys sticking with us on this new format of taking a week off because we just need a week off every now and then. But I'm here with my bros as always, and of course, my number one bro that we've started with since the beginning, the foundation, the guy that just laid it all out. Go Texans, Jake. I don't know about this guy, but whatever. What's up, brother?
I mean, we got a podcast together. I hope you know something about me, man.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Go Texans, Jake. Nice to see you again, or hear you again, or I guess I don't see or hear you. Nice to be with you again, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or maybe a little siesta in the afternoon. I hope you're having a beautiful day and awesome beginning of your fall. Remember, we fall back today an hour, and I'm glad you're here. So let's have a good episode, guys.
That's right. We did fall back. And talking about falling backwards, uh, when you don't have the highest quality of friends, you have to fall back into what you just get by default. And that's how Fredo came to the picture, right? So, welcome, Fredo.
What's
What's
up?
the,
What's up? Oh yeah, I'm just second choice over here. Okay, I'm fine with that. By the way,
Well, I
I'm
mean, in
fine
all
with
reality,
that.
you really were. But
Yeah, it really was. Which I'm
I'm
fine
just
with
kidding.
that.
We love you, bro.
you really were second choice. But I mean,
Right? Uh, you know, we weren't gonna say it, but it is what it is, right? We like to be real here.
Just scraping the bottom of the barrel. That's what it is. I
Well,
got
guys,
you.
I know really quick, Steve-O, before we get into our guest host, so I'm really excited to bring out because he's a freaking rock star. But I gotta ask what you guys did over the weekend. Anything crazy? Anything something you guys want to talk about?
Jake.
well, I guess I'll start. This weekend I did not have a lot going on. In-laws were in town. Had a soccer game for the daughter. But last weekend I had something really cool. I did the Cairo's Prison Ministry, brothers, and that
Yes.
was very unique and a pretty awesome and humbling experience. Um, One thing I definitely learned is that prison's not meant for me. I know that for a fact now. Um, so I will keep being straight arrow from here on out. But in all
Yeah.
reality, it really was an awesome weekend. So just a quick snapshot of what it was. So Kairos is a nonprofit ministry team that goes into prisons all over the U.S. and the world, really, mainly in the U.S. And they do what they call a Kairos weekend. It's 3.5 days. They call it 4 days, but it's really 3.5 because we didn't see the residents. We don't call them inmates. We don't see the residents until Thursday afternoon. But we go in, and here's the thing: we are one thing that I got asked a lot is like how many people gave their life to Christ. And it's like we weren't there to bring people to Christ. We just want them to know that they were loved by Christ and that they're never forgotten, and that there's
Hmm.
still hope for them in the sense that life don't end just because you're behind bars. And so that's what we did. So we did a lot of cool activities, and I tell you what, man, they going into this, I didn't know what I was signing up for, but I was like, you know what, I want to try something different. I like to do a lot of volunteer work, and I, everybody, all the veterans were telling me, "Oh, it's going to change you. It's going to change you." And I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was calling Bogsy and Dallas the nights of, man. These were long days, dude, and I was kind of bummed. I'm like, man, because then after the meeting would end, we'd go to the prison, and then they want to go back to the church that's hosting us and have like another powwow for an hour. It's already like I've been doing this for 12 hours at this point, and I'm like, I just want to go home. And but I kept an open mind, and I tell you what, come Sunday morning to see the transformation of some of these residents there from Thursday to Friday, just to be feeling the love. I saw some of the most hardened criminals. One of the guys, I'm not going to give any names out, but this guy, he had murdered a few people, no joke, and
Otherwise, they're coming after you.
he
Yeah.
was very like shut off and everything at the beginning of the weekend. And come Sunday morning when we were doing our worship service, this guy had his hands up, praising God. I mean, it brought tears to my eyes. So that's what I got to do last weekend, and I think I'm gonna be doing it again sometime in the future. So it was pretty cool. So they're always taking donations. I'm not asking for one for me, but Kairos.com is a website, and like I said, it's a nonprofit Christian ministry that goes into prisons for women and men. So I went to the men's prison, obviously. So, but that's how my last weekend and this weekend was. Double dog.
That's awesome. Hey, brother. Yeah, can't beat that. Yeah, devil dog. Anything?
That was badass, Jake. Yeah, when you were telling your story about all that, that was so cool, man. This weekend, I mean, last weekend, I don't really remember too much of last weekend, but this weekend has been awesome. Today was absolutely beautiful. It's been a very, very long time that I've actually been able to sit down with all of my aunts and uncles all in one spot and no bickering, no fighting, and it was beautiful conversations, absolutely awesome, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time with them. And then went out into the woods with my uncle to go and move trees today because we went and finally getting some work done this week. So still dealing with all these trees. It's just an absolute massacre of our timber. Absolutely devastating. So that's what's been going on with me.
Wow. Yeah. We saw your awesome aunt. That was cool.
Yeah.
Then your niece, right?
She was cutie, man. She
Two,
was a little cutie, man.
two.
Yeah.
No.
Now,
Oh, go ahead, Boxy. Go ahead.
uh, oh yeah, Dallas. Are you held hostage in like a 1980s basement somewhere?
You
Right?
know,
He has a wood
they,
Dude,
they
paneling
he's got
up. Is that floral print couch? Is that what
right.
that
It's
is?
floral print couch. Is that a
no,
hideaway?
no, it's a bed, and there's Captain,
I
you
bet you
know,
it's bubble
so
wrap too.
Oh,
that's my
oh,
dog
Captain's
behind
over
me.
there.
That's
Okay.
my
You're
dog.
just your
Yeah.
now Wayne's coding is just wow. It's just in your face, bro. That's wild. All right.
So
The
I
house
was gonna
needs some
say.
updating,
So
okay?
it sounds like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All good. No offense, not picking on it,
yeah, we're
but
not picking on.
hey, so guys, I got to shoot a pig in my backyard, and that was cool with my crossbow, and it had a bunch of its babies all together, and it was eating all my deer corn, and so my wife is screaming at me, and I pulled the crossbow out, and because she's screaming at me. I pulled one of those dumbass girl memes. I put the scope against my eye, but the butt wasn't against my shoulder. So
Ooh,
when I hit it, the recoil popped me in the eye, and I was bleeding. So I mean, I don't know if you guys can see it here. It's still there a little
we
bit.
see your
Yeah,
ugly mug. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
mug
you,
on
you
mug
don't
already. Yeah,
you
but
don't need to
hey,
bring it
one
closer.
shot right behind the head. Boom, got it. Yeah, yeah. Now here's the funny part. I shot that pig on a Wednesday. Then Thursday was Halloween. Friday and yesterday was nonstop. Well, all my neighbors complained because today there was probably 400 vultures in my backyard, and all in their backyard, and all the group texts were like, "Where the hell are these vultures coming from? And what's going on back there?" Because they didn't know I killed a pig. And Norma's like, "I told you get that damn thing out of there." So
That's
anyway,
hilarious. I would have taken the
Bro,
air out and been like, "Yeah, man, that's weird. I see a big pig in my
right? I
backyard. I don't know where
know.
this thing came from."
I should have played it up.
bro, you
I should
told
have played
me
it
you were
up.
gonna strap it to the back of the golf cart and drag it down the street. What the heck happened with that?
I was going to. I just ran out of time, and then of course it started stinking, and the
Oh
damn legs
man,
got all big because it was all bloating and stuff. And
yeah. So have you taken
yeah,
care of it yet? Because the longer you wait,
no,
the harder it's
dude,
gonna be get.
Oh,
no. The coyotes grabbed it last night. The coyotes grabbed it, and I have videos of the coyotes just tearing the shit out of it, and they drug it out to the back of the woods, but
Good.
it's in the middle of the woods, so you can't get it now.
Oh, well,
So
all right. No longer your problem then. So
right,
not the neighbor's problem.
that's right, that's right. So
I mean, as long as your bolts don't have
anyway,
your name on it.
That's right.
yeah, yeah,
I bet
got
they're
my
branded
fingerprints.
exposed homes though. There's probably some
Right, exactly. Yeah. It says if found, call here. Right?
I was gonna say, looking for a home, call here.
Yeah, right, exactly. If they find that on a bolt, that's something else. But well, guys, hey, on this day in American history, that's what we always love covering. I got a couple facts for you, but on this one stood out to me. On November 3rd, 1957, Sputnik 2 carried the first animal into orbit.
No. Oh, the monkey. What was his name?
Yeah.
Chimpo.
I remember that thing.
Come on. Chimpo. Was it Chimpo? No.
No, it
What was
wasn't
it?
Chimpo, but that was a cartoon Chimpo.
I was like, man, yeah. I think his name was Greg or something like
uh,
that.
Greg. It was
Greg.
Dallas.
I thought it
Yes.
was Jake. Jake, you know,
uh,
had a collar around his neck says go
so
Texans.
supposedly it wasn't. It was a Mongol, whatever the hell that was. I guess no,
Oh,
I'm sorry. It was dog. It was dog. It's called Leica, or
um,
Leica.
oh, Sputnik.
Yeah,
Then it's not the
yeah,
Sputnik dog.
Whatever.
yep.
Whatever.
Sputnik dog. So anyway, I just thought that was cool. I don't know why it said that was in American history, but whatever. Because that's not American history, but I guess it's because we're fighting. We're in the space race, so that's
Hey,
what it
I got
was.
I got one for next Sunday.
Anybody else?
It's not this
Oh,
Sunday,
you want
not
to do it now
today in
since we're not going to be
history.
on next Sunday?
Yeah, exactly. So November 10th,
I know what it is.
1775,
I know what it is.
Marine Corps
Yep.
birthday, born in a bar.
That's right.
Tongue
That's
Tavern.
right.
Tongue Tavern. Yep.
Anytime you create a militia in a bar, you should know it's trouble. I mean, let's just be
Wow.
honest. I mean, they knew what they were doing. Like, we just need people that are shit faced and ready to do some crazy shit and get the job done. And the Marines were born. I mean, they're
That's
like,
what
all
Marines
right, we're in
are.
the
Yep.
jungle with 30 assailants with his one pistol and no body armor. They're like, I'll do it. Give me a beer.
That's
Give me a
right.
beer.
That's right.
Well, boss, you're leaving me in
That's
suspense. I think we have a guest today, and I want to talk to this guest. What do we got, man?
yes. I did. Definitely did not save the best for last because I did save it because I'm excited, guys. So I've known this guy for a while. He's around the office. People around the office all call him Mo Money because just whatever he touches turns the sold, turns the money. This dude is just the. If you meet this guy in person, you cannot just not like him right off the bat. He's just such a friendly guy, down to earth. He's humble. I saw him when he first came to real estate, and he was just. I mean, he was working it. He was working it right. So he's been at Keller Williams for 8 years, and actually starting up in December 31st is his anniversary coming up. So
Wow. Okay.
guys, I'm more excited because he's a man of God. He turned his life around in 2012. He got baptized from some really rough past that he was going through, and I'm going to let him explain all that. Of course, he's got a phenomenal wife and beautiful wife that I don't think I've met her in person. I can't remember. I think I've seen photos, but we'll talk about her a little bit. Of course, he's got 3 kids and no, 4 kids. So I believe that's right. Is that right, Danny? I'm trying to remember that.
Yeah, it's Ford, Bogsy.
There it is. See, I got this base up here not working so good, but this is you heard him, guys. It's Danny Mo Money Moman. What's up, guys?
What's up, Danny
What's up?
Money? Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show.
Glad to have you here.
Yeah,
Thank you. Peace be with y'all.
and it's hard for a real estate agent to sit back and just wait for something, right? Because you just want to get going.
Dude, this guy
So
was
appreciate
itching,
you.
man.
Yeah, he was like, dude, get me in there, get me in there. so,
Nice.
so
Nice.
Danny, you and I have known each other. What is it? 2 or 3 years you've been at KW.
No, I started out at KW for
Oh,
eight
damn.
years.
Okay, damn. We've known each other that long. Gosh, dang.
Yeah, you were actually one of the part of the staff that was part of the Ignite programs that I was in. You taught a class there. That's where I
That's
first met
right.
you.
Okay, that's
That's
right. I was teaching negotiations. Wow,
Yep.
dude. I
You had the killer Ariat boots, man. I was like, I want to be that guy.
Oh my god, this guy,
yeah,
dude.
I was showing them area boots off, man.
That's the
Yeah,
first
that was
guy
back
that's
in the
ever
micro
said that.
world days. I was trying to show my nice. Whatever. Hey, don't be knocking my boots down. Um,
Oh, they were cool. They were nice.
well, Danny, I will say this because I thought it has been only 3 to 4 of it, which means that I can't believe it's been that long, dude. I'm really blown away at your success because you came in just gung ho, and you came from the oil business, right? The oil field.
Yes, sir. 18 years of it.
So what made you transition from the oil field to being a realtor?
So I got into the oil field fresh out of high school, late 90s, 95. Fresh meat for the grinder. They put me in there. Um, and I'm from a town called Lovington, New Mexico. You
Okay.
guys probably never even heard of it, and I would probably recommend that you don't ever go to it unless you want to see what living hell is.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
married, so
bad.
I don't need to. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm just
right.
kidding. Hey, oh, just kidding.
Yeah, so it's Permian Basin area, West Texas, if you guys know that area,
Oh,
eastern New
my wife's
Mexico.
family hails from the area. My wife's actually born and raised in Carlsbad, so not too far
Yeah,
from where
that's
you're
real
at. I
close.
know where you're from. Yeah, not a very nice
Hmm.
place.
No,
Yeah,
no, very ugly.
yeah.
So there's nothing to do there except either work in the oil field or do drugs.
Yeah.
That's
Which
about
you
all
did
we
both,
got.
right? You're like, yeah,
I, I sold it. I did it. I worked. Did all that stuff.
hell
Shit,
yeah.
I used to be called Slim. That was my street name back in the days. As soon as I got out of high school, I weighed probably like about 130 pounds.
Hey, that was me, man.
I was real skinny, bad. I was strung out on cocaine too, so that's
Ooh,
probably was one of the biggest reasons why I was so skinny.
that's
I
one hell
looked
of a
like
drug,
death.
man.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. That's right.
That's right. Rick James got that shit right.
That's right.
So,
Yeah,
Danny, not to play into the stigma, but Breaking Bad was in New Mexico, right?
it was, and it was in Albuquerque.
So, were you like Skinny Pete from that show? You were like slanging it? Was that what it was?
Shit, I used to cook that shit, man. I used to
Oh
make
shit!
it and
Oh, okay.
everything. Yeah,
Dang,
Damn.
you were
Damn.
Jesse.
yeah. I was. We'd make ice. We'd make bathtub crank. We'd make anhydrous. Just everything that you can think of.
Yeah.
We were chemists for sure.
Damn, street chemist. I
Let's say,
love it.
dude hadn't passed a day of chemistry in his life, though. It's like he had no degree set about these street chemists. Like,
Right.
Yeah, yeah. It
So,
was
so
crazy.
Dallas and I were talking earlier. What got you started doing that, man? Was that just what all the kids did growing up, or what?
So basically, when I got before I was in high school, trying to be popular, be with the cool kids, I was hanging out with some really, thugs and stuff. That's where I got my name from, Slim. And then, all that starts out with weed, right? We're over there slanging weed, selling blunts,
Mhm.
thinking that we're cool. And then when you get into the oil field, it's a whole different story. Well, it was back then. It's like straight up criminals, straight up people from prison, straight up, don't give a fuck people. And they're rough, tough guys that they're into that kind of stuff. So that's when I got introduced to cocaine, and then I got introduced to people that cook meth, and then I, joined right on in because hey, there's a big profit in that shit. There's a lot of money to be made. But the thing they don't tell you about that shit is, hey, it's all glamour and glorious at the beginning, but in the end, it's going to take everything you have. You're going to
Yeah.
either end up dead in prison or you know with nothing. And that's what happened to me. I ended up with nothing. I ended up being, I think it was the end of '08. I ended up homeless, broke, didn't have nothing. Nobody would even open their door to me. I was staying in my car. I was sleeping in my car, and my mom even had turned her back. She said, I've had enough, son. I can't take you no more. She left. She went to El Paso, and I got finally down to my last thing, man. I was walking the streets, homeless, shitting on myself, just bad, just bad. It was bad. So finally, I got a little break, and my mom said, get out of there before you end up dead. And I went to El Paso with her. Ended up getting there for about a year. Started doing the same thing again. She left. Got the hell out of there. And I ended up trying to clean up. I just couldn't do it. It was had a hold on me. It wouldn't let go. It was just like it was weird. Like it's the worst thing that you could have something held over your head where you want to give it up so bad, but you're this voice or this hold over you is like telling you, no, don't listen to that. You need to keep going. You don't need to stop. That's silly talk. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing all right. You're good, buddy. Just
Yep.
keep trucking.
Yeah.
Which was obviously the devil talking to you and trying to keep you enslaved. And
Damn, Fred, why you do that to him, bro?
right, I don't Fredo Devil Dog over here.
Hey, I changed the name,
I
okay?
read that in your bio.
There it goes.
So you're talking about that it was the thing, you had that extra voice in your head. So my biological mother spent most of her life in prison, in and out, and when she was not in prison, she was fucked up on some type of drug, and later in the years she contracted AIDS and a bunch of other stuff from doing all kinds of drugs and stuff like that, and she was on her deathbed. And at one point I asked her, I said, well, out of curiosity, I had learned to cope with it, and I had forgiven her at that point, but I'd asked her, why did you keep on going back to it? And she goes, the only thing that was keeping me alive was the drugs, but that was also the same thing that was killing me. Because she was like, it's a terrible cycle. So it totally makes sense that you left, try to start new, but naturally that shit finds you, man, because it's just like it's a vicious cycle, man. So yeah. So yeah. I mean, it's cool. Yeah. I feel your brother in the sense that I can only imagine how hard that was, especially. And I'm proud of your mom. I know that was hard. My grandparents, they gave my mom the boot eventually, and sometimes you love somebody so much, but at some point you got to stop enabling them, and you say, all right, I'm done with you. I'm not going to be any part of this. You're not going to get any better. I'm not going to do anything for you at this point. So hats off to your mom. And look, it all paid off, right? One way or another, that tough love is sometimes what you need, so.
Yep. Yeah, it is. Absolutely, Jake. I mean, so her turning her back on me and everybody turning their backs on me made me feel like a real piece of shit about the lowest of my life. And that's probably what I needed, because after you hit the rock bottom, there's no basement after that. It's it. Unless you're dead.
Yep.
You die, then it really is over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God you did it. Dallas, I know you said you want to say something.
The reason I was like really interested in hearing your story, because I have a cousin right now that is basically going to same thing that is your background, from the streets, mass quantities of drugs, homeless and all that, and he is there right now. So my question to you is, what did it take? I mean, if there was somebody that talked to you, what were the words of wisdom that brought you out of that, so that way maybe my family can actually get him off this street and turn his life around? What can we do?
Yeah. So the one thing that I have to say that actually helped change my life is I got surrounded by somebody that was so influential, that I so loved and so cherished the opinions and valued everything about her. That was just, I don't know, she was everything to me. She was such a smart lady. And she took me in too when I got finally to the end of the rope again. And my mom was going with her son. They weren't married, so it's kind of like a common law marriage. But his mom, she lived in Pleasanton here, and I called her up one day and I told her, "Look, man, I'm so sorry. I'm homeless again. I just need like 3 days to get back on my feet. And is it okay if I go to your house?" She took me in. She's like, "Yeah, come on in." And 3 years later, I was still there, but she was so knowledgeable. She was so, God, how could I explain her? She's just a godsend. She's like an angel, man. Like,
Yeah.
she talked to me, and instead of me having that attitude, like, screw you, I'm right, and you don't, who are you, and what are you, and all that. Because, when you get into that drugs and that activity, you get this, like, ego. You get this kind of attitude. You get this kind of mode where you're like, you know what? Fuck you. You don't know me. You don't know who I am. I know what I'm doing here. You ain't nobody. I don't know who you are. You just get this real shitty attitude. But this lady, I couldn't get that with. She was like somebody I respected so much that I couldn't do that with her. And she just slowly just guided me and showed me, hey, you need to, you should try doing it this way. Or, hey, maybe do it this way. And, I was like, in my head, I was like, nah, it ain't going to be like that. But then I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'll try it. Let me see what it's about. And that's what happened. And then she didn't even really tell me about God. She's not really. It just came. Like I got into a group of guys that were in the old field when I was working, and they were like a bunch of Christian guys. Totally flipped my world upside down because when I was in the old field, I worked with nothing but drug addicts, thugs, fucking people from prison. These people weren't like that, and which kind of blew my mind. But they, the Derek hand told me, he's like, hey, why don't you start reading the Word? Read the book of John. Just start it out. He even gave me a Bible. Okay, cool. When you're doing those, week on, week off kind of camp jobs, you got time when you get off from work. You work 12-hour shifts, but you got 12 hours off. So I'm over here and I'm starting to read that stuff. And then that's when God started talking to me. That's when God started saying, hey, you know what? If you want to, you're going to change your life and you want to be born again, you're going to have to first get baptized because you got to get that original sin off of you. You got it all over you right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, what if I was to die tomorrow? Because in my mind, I've always thought I was just going to die. I was going to die doing drugs. That was in my mind from a long time ago. I was like, I'm just going to die doing drugs. This is just how it is. I don't give a shit. I mean, this is just the way it's going to be. And that's what really kind of just really changed my perspective when I started reading that. And I was like, well, shit, if I die, like I think I'm going to do, what the hell? I got nothing, man. I'm going to go straight to hell. God's trying to give me an opportunity here. He's like, hey, why don't you go get baptized? Why don't you start doing this, start doing that? And, let's change that for you. And it was a slow, gradual change. It didn't happen overnight. It took years. I mean, I've been clean off for 12 years ever since I got baptized. And there was a time that I took a trip to Acts Retreat, which I don't know if you guys know what that is, but
Oh yeah.
it's basically a Catholic deal where they take you out in the boonies for like a week, and they actually just do a lot of intensive prayers, intensive talking, bunch of guys together just telling their story. And at that time when I did it, I feel in my heart that's when I was born again. Because after I got out of there was a cross there. I fell down on my knees and I cried for at least 30 minutes to an hour. And I don't even know why. I was just freaking, showered. I was drenched everywhere, man.
Brother, that's why.
It overtook me, and it gave me a joy and a peace that nobody has ever been able to take away from me ever since. It's given me something. Go ahead.
No. I'm sorry to interrupt because it's all good stuff, brother. So I want to ask you because for you and I both, I think we talked a little bit about it. Being a Christian, there's such a stigma out there when people say they're Christians, but then they hide behind that, and then they still do bad things, right? And then I don't know how you were when you gave your life to the Lord, but I was raised under a Christian roof, but then things were really construed about what I saw my mom do. Then my mom and dad got divorced. And I always felt like I can handle it. I don't need some man to save me, but then I just got humbled at moments. So I guess what I'm asking you is what was that feeling where you finally just gave up and just gave in to him and just said, Lord, I want you in my heart. How did that work? Like, what was that feeling like? Do you still remember that to this day?
Well, it was when I went to my grandmother's, I think. I mean, it was before I got baptized, because that picture you seen on Facebook, Boggs, That was about 15 years ago.
Oh
And I
wow.
got saved 12. So there was a 3 year period in between that picture until I got baptized. And it was a time when I went to go stay with I call her my grandmother. And it was at that time is when I think things started to change for me because I was already there at rock bottom again. I had nobody wanting to even help me. And this lady was so kind and so generous and genuine. She was like somebody I'd never encountered before in my life. I've been met a lot of people, and they all been shit people. It's not maybe people, it's just maybe who they were at that time in their life. Same like I was, but to meet someone like that, and to be honest, I think that was the key. That's the key. You got if you're strung out and you're all messed up on stuff, you got to meet that one person that's going to make you see and make you realize, hey, you know what? Maybe I should change. Maybe I should do something different here. Because this person that I respect and really love and really care for, and I can see that she's what she's telling me is right. That made a big impact in my life. It really
So,
did, and I
so
think that's
you
what you need.
you nailed it on the head that you had angels step in, right? God gives us opportunities to follow him and listen, and it's not like a voice that comes down from heaven, right? You're not driving down the car one day shitting yourself, like you were saying, driving the car, all of a sudden his voice like, Danny, stop. It doesn't work that way. God works through people, and that's how God's voice gets translated to us, right? And I
That's
think
right.
if you're not, you have to be at rock bottom sometimes, and some people do, to feel or to hear that. But I'm glad to hear that you had that people around your life, but you chose to listen to, because as you know, you've probably seen a lot of other people that are still strung out. They think they can handle it. They've got the ego. They feel like they can get over whatever they got. They don't have a problem. So, what would you say to those kind of people right now? If any one of our listeners was struggling with abuse of drugs or alcohol, what would you say to them to get them over that ego feel and be a little bit more in tune with maybe what God's telling them?
Man, that's a tough one. That's a good question, Bogsy. Um, so, in order for you to get over yourself, you got to get you got to get under yourself. you,
Amen.
you,
Amen.
Yeah.
yeah, you got to get under yourself, and you got to make that change, man. Nobody's going to do it for you. God's not going to come over here and sprinkle magic dust on you and say, "Okay, you're cured." That's not going to happen that way.
Yeah.
You've got to get under yourself, get out of yourself, give that ego up, and find that one person, or ask God to send you that one person. Prayer, man, prayer works very good. To tell you the truth, before I went to my grandmother's, I prayed for 3 days straight because I was in a bad place. I was just hurting. And I prayed to God, please direct me. Tell me what I need to do. Show me what I need to do. I didn't hear no voice. I didn't hear
Mhm.
nobody tell me nothing.
Yeah.
But what did happen is I made that phone call to the one person I thought might take me in. And that one person took me in. And that one person changed my life. And you're right, God does work through people. I think he works through her all the time. And
Do we?
she never pressured me to go, hey, go get baptized, Danny, or hey, go read the Bible, Danny. She never told me none of that shit. Nothing. Like she was just very real, like just down to earth, kind of like, you know, God, how could I? It's just so hard to explain how what kind of person she is. Just genuine, just straight up. Like there was no BS in her at
So,
all.
Dan, I'm glad you said this. And sorry, Steve-O and Jake, I'm sort of overstepping, but here's what I want to point out that you just said that, oh my gosh, it's so good, because I tell my mom all the time, like, I tried my actions to be a testimony of my walk with Jesus. And I know I'm not perfect. Hell, I sin all the time, right?
Me
But,
too, brother. Me too.
well, yeah, amen, right? We all there. And I guess what it is I've been told from the old Christian belief that you have to talk about them in Jesus every time, and if you don't ask them to pray with you, then you haven't done your job as a Christian. And man, that was tough for me to hear, because I said, you know what? if I had somebody come up to right now and just met me off the side of the street and said, "Hey, you need Jesus, and I want to pray with you right now," I'd be like, "All right, dude, you're a little freaky, man. I don't like something's wrong with this." I guess I don't know. Like people think you got to be right up in everybody's face to say it, and I don't think God is saying that. And you're clearly an example that God can work through people without being preachy, without trying to have the right word to say. It just happens, right?
Yep.
So
That's
that was
right.
where I
And
was going to go with my question. It's like I feel like it happens. So kind of we'll segue to what I was going to ask, but it happens because they want it, and that's what I was going to ask. Is that at that point when you feel like you found him or found Christ or whatever it may be, did you were asking and you realized at that point that that was the no shit, I am done, I need to make a change, and this is the way forward? Or was it something else? Because I feel like a lot of people that need the help, you can never fix somebody that doesn't want to be helped, right? And rephrase that: you can never help somebody that doesn't want to be helped. I know
that's right.
I never got as bad as you are, but I had my days where I was doing a lot of other stuff and stuff, and it was took me, luckily, grace to the grace of God that I never got worse, but um, I realized that I need to do better because I want better for myself, and so I feel like, and that's when God, when you look to Him and you're like, please help me. And so, do you feel like that was kind of your scenario? Like, look, you finally realize that this is not working for you. I need to make a change, and maybe this is the way forward.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you, Jacob, that when it comes to you when you're on drugs, your mind is so cloudy. Like there's like this huge thunderstorm in your head, and you don't know shit. You can't see nothing. You don't see no sunshine. You don't see no light at the end of the tunnel. It's just complete darkness, and it's just like you can't ever come to terms on getting out of that because you can't think straight.
Yeah.
Your mind is fried, like you're perma fried. Your mind is just not thinking the right things. Well, what happens is if you can lay off, just let's just say 2 3 days, try to go straight, maybe go for another week, another time. Just gradually get yourself somewhere in a point to where you can start thinking better, to where you can actually have some logical thought, because you're not thinking logically when you're tweaked out, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. I've been there. I've been up for fucking 10 days one time straight, no sleep. And this is an interesting fact for you, Josh, since you like interesting facts.
Yeah, he does.
The Surgeon General says that anybody that's been without sleep for more than 10 days straight is actually clinically proven to be insane.
I
Wow.
believe it.
Yeah, so I might be insane. I don't know, but it's
Well, you're insanely a hell of a salesman. That's what you're. There you go. So you selling them houses, bro. Um,
yeah,
so they do say, right? Obviously, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, and that's what you're saying here is you have to be ready here inside to just say, like you said, fuck it. I don't know anything left. God, please bring whatever you can, and that's when the teacher shows up.
that's right.
So,
And I would say to
Yeah,
even
you
take the
get
religion away from it, ultimately, you just gotta want it, man. You can't help somebody
yeah,
that doesn't want the help. People that
yeah,
are asking for help on the beginning side are like, I want some help, but ultimately they have a ulterior motive to get some more money, get a place to stay for a couple days. You really have to
yeah,
want it, and it
yeah,
sounds like that's where you were at. I really want it. You're like, damn, I've been strung out for years. Okay, I need to change, and then God appeared just in the right time. He works like that. I mean, by God. So,
hmm
literally,
yeah,
yeah.
well, Danny, not to pull this way, because man, we can talk about this subject a lot, and I really want to. I know we're but here's one cool thing that I think you should know, and that we all were talking about, is that you are also a white man married to a Hispanic. So is Dallas. And Steve-O's half black, half white, married to a white girl, right? So we got some mixed wives going on here, and I love that. So can we talk a little bit about that? Your beautiful wife's name is Jessica, is that correct?
Ooh,
that's
I like
correct.
it.
How did y'all meet?
Well, that's a good story. So we had I was trying to find someone online, right? I was on plentyoffish.com, POF.
Got it.
Yeah, nice.
And
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Woo!
So
Oh,
Fishing
yeah.
away.
Watch out,
Yeah.
Tinder.
yeah. So I come from the country, guys. I come from a town with 10,000 people. We didn't have shit like that. I had no idea there was even shit out there like that. So I got introduced to it. I just blew up. I was just dating and seeing everybody I could, and just seemed like the hookup spot, right? So
Oh
I did
yeah.
that for like 2 years, and then it just something in my soul just told me like, man, this is not right. You're not gonna find anybody here. You're not gonna you're not gonna find what you're looking for in this spot. So at the time that I was about to give up, I was just thinking, like, you know what, screw this. I'm done with it. I'm just gonna be main single. And lo and behold, I met my wife. she was. It's funny because she put on her filters where I couldn't be able to talk to her, but somehow I was still able to talk to her. So
Yeah, wow.
that was another God's
You ever
God's
say
hand in something.
it's like there were some mystical works at play, you know? So,
It
Well,
was. It was.
now is she from Puerto Vallarta? Because don't you guys like a property or something down there?
Yeah, yeah. She's 100% Mexican, baby.
Hell
She's
yeah.
uh she's from Puerto Vallarta. She
Puerto
was born
Vallarta.
oh
there.
shit.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was born there. She came over here when she was 6. Struggled a lot, and she made something of herself. She's a senior HR manager now, so she's
Wow.
big time.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
she's a badass. She's my. I guarantee you, man. She's my Milo to my Stitch or whatever you call it.
Your Lilo to your Stitch? Okay.
We yeah, you
Uh,
confused Dallas with Disney movies, whatever. It's all good.
that was like
But yeah,
that was like
she's.
those off-brand kid animated movies that no one hears about.
Stop
Right?
staring through my window,
Like, you ever
Jake.
seen
I keep
Trash
telling you
Panda
that.
before?
Well,
So,
hey, oh, go ahead, Steve. Go
well, no,
ahead.
no. So, well, I think you're. Go ahead, Boxing. I'll go
Well, no,
first.
because you also came into a mixed marriage. It's instant family, right? She had 3 kids, and so you're a stepdad to them, right? And I'm a
Yeah.
stepdad to one. I've adopted my son. I know Dallas is in the same mixed family, right? So, talk to me a little bit about how is that as a start of your relationship? How did you work that out? How did you guys figure that out? Because it takes a big man to take instant family on like that, right? And so clearly you're an amazing man. How did you do it?
I just want the audience to know, though, that I'm not in a mixed family, but I come from a mixed family. So,
Well, what?
I have
I
some.
left you out. I'm
No,
sorry,
no, no,
bro.
no, no. You left me out. I'm good for a good reason because I know me and my wife are still married. And we had the same kids, but I do come from a mixed family, so I know what you're all talking about. All right. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
when I
You
come
in
on here
there.
and I add my comments later, audience, just know that I'm coming from a place of knowledge. Okay. So go ahead.
DNA
What you got,
test.
brother?
DNA test.
Right.
Nice, nice. No, I mean, when I got married to my wife, I knew she was the one. I mean, we got married through the church. I
Awesome.
didn't look at what she had as part of a burden to me or a burden at all. I actually saw it as a blessing and maybe an opportunity to make a difference in their lives. Even though, I still have that ism where, I still think I'm a piece of shit. I'm not good enough to maybe say something that's going to be good for them or be beneficial to them. I've got that bad mentality in the back of my head of all the shit that I used to do, even though I know I've been forgiven and I know that God's good with me. But me trying to, project to people that, I love and care about, it's kind of difficult to step up and just say something. I just kind of rolled with it, and it just turned out beautiful. I don't have a problem with it being mixed or not mixed. Doesn't see to me anything. I like what Morgan Freeman said when he
I
says,
like
you know how you
Gangsta
get rid of
music.
racism. He
Yeah.
says how you get rid of racism is stop calling me a black man and I'll stop calling you a white man. Just call me a man.
Yeah. I
Straight up,
100%
man.
agree.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
the answer to me.
I love
Everybody
me some
calls
Stop
me.
Morgan
being
Freeman,
Everybody
but
calls me Mexican
yeah.
all the time. It pisses me off, dude.
Well, well, yeah.
Hold up.
No, I mean, look, and what you just said too, Danny, is that isn't the devil crazy that he just makes us self doubt ourselves that we're not ever good enough. We don't have the right stuff. We don't know what really to say. But in the day, if we get rid of all that despair and doubt, and we just live this life that God has really wanted us to live, it's amazing what you can do for the goodness of his kingdom and just living a fantastic life, right? Like you and I both, we're both killing it in real estate, but we're not like flying around in helicopters, on A&E as billionaire real estate agents and stuff like that. But we're living abundant, amazing lives. I know you're loved by so many, and anybody at the office knows Mo Money because you're always there helping everybody else you can. And you've gone through some hardships there. I know. I don't know if you want to talk to you about. I know Yeska was dealing with some things. You've been through some shit, brother. So I mean, dude, what did you guys do? Just faith in God that got you through all that, or what?
Yeah, so real estate, they like to glamorize it and all that stuff, but it's not easy, man. And you got to be a hustler. You got to work your ass off. And it's the first 3 years I suffered. It was horrible. I mean, I could probably made more money at McDonald's. And I was
Yeah.
sitting there busting my ass 10, 12 hours a day, making 500 phone calls, a day, 6 to 8 hours, door knocking 100 doors, open house 3, 4 times a week. I mean, I was getting out there and I wasn't getting shit. I wasn't getting nothing, no traction. And then all of a sudden, my 3rd year, it blew up. It finally came to fruition. Everything I've been doing, it all started coming into play. And and then 2020, we decided we was going to build a house. Me and my wife. So it's been our dream. We've been saving up for it forever, and we finally got everything all ironed out. And then we're going to go forward. And then boom, here comes the devil again. Here he comes attacking. Bam!
Yeah.
My wife got breast cancer, and it
Wow.
was not the nice one either. She had to have double
Jeez.
vasectomy.
Wow.
Oh,
They had to remove both of her breasts. It was bad, and it had the family very very down. I mean, the devil was beating us down, but God is so good. God God is amazing. So you keep your strength and faith in Him. Things just work out. I mean, she's been 4 years now in remission. She's got one more year left, and once that year 5 left is done, her chances are 80% that she's not going to get it again. Doesn't say that she won't ever, but her chances are a lot better.
Yeah.
So that was a blessing in itself, and we're just so thankful, and it changed our lives, everybody's lives. It humbled everyone, really.
and
So
you
it
were
was like
going
a
through that,
storm.
and you were going through that as you're building your house too,
Yeah,
And
we were
during
going
a
to take a
and
pandemic
maximum.
COVID,
and COVID.
And
and
Yeah,
four
COVID. Yep,
kids. I
yep,
mean, hot dog.
yeah.
Like, I just talk about the devil
Yeah, we
trying
were
to keep
thinking
you
about
down,
canceling.
brother. I mean,
Yeah, it was a trying time, really,
so
but we pushed through.
so I got two things to say. One, that so first thing is that you talking about, so Bogsy had said something about just like persevering. God got a plan, right? So one of the things I this Kairos weekend I went into is like, I don't know Bible verses like that. I read my Bible. I go to church. I volunteer often at the church. I'm just not that like heavenly book smart Bible guy like Jesus guy. I love him. I proclaim him and all that good stuff. And I kept on telling myself, what do I have to offer? And I tell you what, so long story short, I go in this first day and there's this Hispanic guy looking across the hall. We all get in a circle and he's looking at me. He's looking at me. He's looking at me. Oh, man, this guy's looking at me, but I'm just being me, man. And so we're doing the introductions in a big circle, and I'm just kind of like bubbly like I naturally am. And the next day, he comes up to me. We sit down again. He's still staring at me. I'm like, God, this guy is mugging me, man. I'm like, this guy's gonna stab me or something. And eventually, he comes up. He goes, "Hey, brother." He goes, "What's your name?" I said, "Jacob." And he goes, "Oh, man, He goes, "I almost didn't come back." And he goes, "But your spirit had lifted me up." And he goes, "I feel like God had called you to reach out to me." And I started crying right there in front of him. I'm like, man, I love to hear that. So it's just amazing. Like, I didn't know what I had to bring, and that was one of the guys at the end of the weekend that was raising his hand, and he said, "I want to be baptized and give my life to Christ." And I didn't even do anything. I just showed up, man. And so that's what I just want to say to everybody. Not even a Jesus way. You just never know, man, what you could bring to the table. Don't ever count yourself short. So the second thing I want to go is I can only imagine what you're going through. So I love my wife, but I also love my mom. My mom is, who's my stepmother, but raised me from birth. She has a Peyko's tumor, which is lung cancer, but it goes through the entire lungs.
yeah.
And she's stage 4A, so like it's never going to get better. And I can understand like where
Sorry
the
to hear
doubt
that.
comes from, and it's like, and especially it sounds like your wife Jessica is like an amazing person, and to stay as positive as you have, because I know one thing that I had a hard time with when my mom got diagnosed is like there's so many shitty people on this earth, and why did one of the few good ones get the cancer, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But here you are persevering. Now, my mom will never get rid of her cancer, but she's on about to be 5 years next September, and she's looking better than ever. The chemo pretty much shrank it quite a bit. It's never going to go away, but she's not in remission. But they don't want to say the word remission. But like I mean, the chemo's done, the radiation's done, and she just came here a couple weeks ago, and we had the best time ever. We were touring DC on scooters and
Yeah.
everything, and like
That's awesome.
so like it's just amazing how I don't know where I was going with that thought process.
Well, no, just how you said how you people that you don't, they're the
Oh
nicest,
yeah,
solid
yeah. But
people.
then so like the nicest
Yeah.
people, yeah. It's like, and so I'm be praying for your wife and the family. I know that can be hard, but I was just it's just it's God works in mysterious ways, So yeah,
But
Yeah,
you
that,
said it,
yeah.
Steve. You said it, Steve, and oh yeah, and I'll get to Fredo just say. But Danny, you know this so true in real estate. Steve, you said I don't know what I had, but I just showed up, and showing up is 90% of success. Period. Right, Danny, you made the calls. You showed up to make the calls. You were in the office. You were showing 20 homes to make $100 at the time, just doing whatever it took. You showed up consistently and without waver, and you had that faith that it's gonna come, right? And I remember my same days starting as well. My wife and I used to get in all many arguments like, when are you gonna get a real job, right? And I don't know if DS has told you that, but
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Cubby
so
texts me, "When's my husband get a real job?" I'm like, I don't know.
right, I know, yeah. She's like, does my husband ever work? um, but anyway, so yeah, just showing up is awesome key. So yeah, sorry, go ahead, Dallas. What were you having to say?
I mean, I'm trying to get where Danny's coming from and everything, trying to catch his feelings on this situation, double vasectomy type of thing. I know my wife, she doesn't have them that big. Bogsy, on the other hand, how would you feel about that? Jake, I mean,
Oh, God,
that's,
wow.
I mean,
Oh.
Danny, did you miss him?
To bring the light to the situation, I appreciate that. I gotta say though,
yes,
I'm an
yes,
ass guy,
yeah.
so it doesn't really bother me really anyway. So
Yeah, I'm an ass and leg
I
man, so
mean,
I don't know that I
Yeah.
would miss them. I mean, Danny, did you miss them after they're gone, or I know Bogsy would.
Yeah.
I mean, he would definitely miss them.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
don't know what I do. Yeah, dude, you're a bigger man than I do. I told Norma like straight up, like, I'd stay married to you, but I'd have to have a girlfriend on the side. I don't know. I just have to, she was like,
as
what
we've
the
been talking
fuck?
about Jesus, we've been talking about Jesus all night, talking about having side
Right, I know,
bitches, dude, to hear Jesus says adultery is cool now. It's totally hip.
Having side pieces is
Also,
good.
Mo Money, you don't have to answer that question.
Yeah, you don't have to, if you don't
You have
want
to
to.
sleep next to
Sorry.
your wife tonight,
Uh,
so you go
well,
ahead and
Yeah,
answer.
well,
yeah.
I can tell you what, guys. She had reconstruction surgery, so
There
it's
you
okay.
go. See,
Nice.
woo, okay, yeah. Yeah. All right. So that fixes everything. See, because I have a friend that didn't, and then I don't know how she's so open about it. She's like, I have no more titties because they're gone, and I'm looking, I'm like, and I was like, I don't know how I'd handle that. Like, but anyway, so and don't for a minute think that Dallas is this innocent dude because he said straight up if his wife lost her legs, he's he's gonna leave her. I don't. I don't know if I can handle. So
He said those little crane legs will not cut it, man. She goes, she
right,
might be able to run faster than me, but I'm gonna run away from her real quick.
I believe my exact words were, as long as she can bend over, we're good, That
right,
was were
yeah.
my exact words,
Uh,
okay?
So,
oh,
all right. So, Mo
golly.
Money. So, all things aside. So, first off, congratulations to your wife. I know we're not over yet, but I hope that we'll be praying for her, brother. And it looks like things are
Yes,
looking
amen.
good. So, keep that going. So it sounds like you've been through a
Thank you.
lot, right? So my next question for you is like, man, so we talked about the negative and semi mid points of your life. But look at you now, brother. You built a house. You got a wife and kids, and so like, what a success! Because like you are a success story, man. People like my birth mother are not a success story that came out of it, and you are. You look good. Does anybody ever tell you that you look like the Gronkowskis?
Dude, you do. He does.
Who the
I
hell's
feel like
that?
them.
Dude,
Yeah.
The Gronkowskis, all the football
Aaron
players.
Gronkowski was it?
Aaron Hernandez, bro.
No,
Jesus.
that's right. My bad. God's sake.
I mean, him and
No.
Gronk did play together on the year.
Rob
Rob
Gronkowski.
Gronkowski, and then you have Justin
Yes.
Gronkowski, who played. He bounced around from time to time. But
I don't even know who that is.
oh my
Uh,
god. Okay. Well, I'm gonna Bogsy, send me his number. I'm gonna send him some pictures, or send him some pictures of the Gronkowski. So they're professional football
bro,
players. And brother, if you would have told me your last name was Gronkowski, I would have believed you because you are spitting image
that's
all of them.
that's true.
I mean,
That's true.
even that. Look. Rob
Yeah.
Gronkowski has a little hair lick.
Yeah.
That's the style. That's on
Yeah.
he has it down to the T.
That's true.
Side note though,
Yes.
so I know we joking kids. So success, man. So you said real estate's not easy, but obviously you're living pretty good now. So like, I mean, we've had quite a few real estate. I think we've had more real estate agents on this podcast than anything, which is totally explainable because one of our founding members is a real estate agent. So
Boxy bringing it to the table.
Yeah, that's right. I'm bringing him in, baby.
So tell me about some of the success stories, and like, I mean, you did go from nothing to here you are. So like, I mean, how is the real estate game treating you now, and stuff like that?
Yeah, so it's a a beautiful rag to riches kind of story, really. I come from nothing. I come from trailer park trash, man. I mean, shit. That's name was Slim, living in the streets, a trailer park boy. But coming to where I am now, sitting on 5 acres on top of a hill overlooking Medina Ranches. That's about 5,000 acres.
Wow.
It's about 2,600 square foot home, single story. Don't got too many bills. Sitting good on money.
Yeah,
God's been really good to us,
that's good, bro.
and it's been a struggle. It's been a real battle for sure. But me and my wife are both the ones that are bringing in the dough.
Yeah.
It's not all just me. It's her too.
Oh, yeah, brother.
She's got a damn good job. And when we first got together, she was down at the bottom. She was just getting into HR, maybe about 5 years, 6 years. But she was changing jobs, getting different jobs, and just building up and getting promotions after changing jobs, and just building that equity every time she changed. We made those decisions together. She didn't know if she should go or, she's always told me, like, I'm the one that helped her make her decisions up. She's very indecisive in whether she should do it or not. But I always try to help her out, and I try to tell her, look, just go for it. Don't worry about it. God's got us. We're going to make it. Whether you get it or not, we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to put that, that belief and that faith and that trust in God on her all the time. And she has a lot too. She just doesn't put it out there so much.
Oh yeah.
So Danny, coming from outside real estate, they're not going to ask maybe the best questions from a realtor's perspective. So let me ask you some real good ones here. What is your one thing that turned it around for you as far as actions in real estate? What was it? Your cold calling? Were you a big cold caller? Because it sounded like you were just making tons of calls. Is that what was your bread and butter? And is that what's brought everything into you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a phone animal. I get on the phone and I'll talk you out of your panties.
I'm glad I'm not wearing any today.
Commando today.
I'm all looking down like, did they already come out? What the heck? So Danny, what is it? Are you practicing scripts? Is it just scripts, or are you just saying the same thing, or what?
Yeah, well, when you get into real estate, that's one of the biggest challenges you got to do is you got to know your scripts. You got to practice your scripts. You got to lead generate. You've got to follow up. You've got to, you got to get out there and just, you got to talk the talk, not just, and walk the walk. You got to do all of it. You can't just bullshit. You can't be part-timer. You can't be like, I'll do this on the weekend, or, hey, when I get out of my other job, I'll go try this out. You got to be all in, all out, and balls to the wall.
Damn, all out.
All out.
I like
That's
you
the
say
way,
all
the only
out
way.
and balls out.
Yeah.
That's right.
Balls out. Balls out.
No wonder your client's like, damn, Danny's legit. Dude, he's talking me out of my panties. He's putting his balls in my face. Like, this guy is straight gangster, dude. It's like,
He's gonna start bending over pretty soon.
so, right. No, that's what you would do, right? You're like, yeah, as long as they can bend over.
So one thing that you said was that it took time, right? So I know a lot of real estate agents. We had Christy on here, Bogsy's mentioned before. So what made you keep on staying? Because 3 years is a lot, man. I don't know if I could have hung around that long, especially in the position where you were in. Now that but life was rough, man. You wasn't nothing glamorous. And my thing is that for me, if I'll put the work in if I know it's going to amount to something. You're talking about 3 years is what you said until it really started paying off. Me personally, I don't know if I would have hung around that long. So, so I guess my question is what got you through that, and what made you want to keep on driving forward?
Yeah, a lot of people think the same way, Jake, is, shit, this ain't for me, because, hell, I ain't seeing nothing. They think the success rate on realtors is like that 4% or some shit.
Yeah, attrition rate is after 2 years, 80% dropout.
Damn.
Yeah, and then after 4 years, it's like fucking less. I think what my deal was is I was just too stupid to give up. And
God is good, brother, isn't he? Isn't he good?
Yeah.
And God bless my wife. She's such a rock, man. She stuck with me. She said, just keep doing it. Just keep going to work. We're doing all right.
Yeah.
And that's what helped too a lot, because she was bringing in bread. I wasn't. She was holding up the family. I wasn't.
Yeah.
But she still believed in me, and she still stuck by my side, and she still told me, get your ass out there and go to work. Don't fuck around. Go bring some fucking money home, bitch.
That's right.
That's pretty much.
Did she pull out the
good
chocolate
game on the way out? Good game.
Yeah, she got the chocolate out, dude. She was like, I'll get the fucking chocolate, dude. So Danny, go ahead. I gotta ask this, because what is your biggest pet peeve now, being in it 8 years? What's your biggest pet peeve that other realtors do or don't do?
Oh man, my biggest one is no communication.
Oh, bingo. Yeah.
That's big to me, because in this business, man, it's all communication. You've got to have it. And when you got that other realtors, it's like, I'll talk to you whenever I talk to you, or I don't give a shit about you. You're below me. You're beneath me. I'm $50 million producer, and you ain't shit.
Right.
Wow.
I sold my house in 2020, and my realtor was the same way, dude. He was just very non-responding, It was rough, dude. And then every now and then he would text me like, "What's up, bro?" And I'm like, "Bro, dude, you're my real estate agent." Now granted, I happen to be best friends with the guy, but he could not distinct between pleasure and friendship, or work and friendship. Oh shit! You're here. My bad.
Yeah.
From what I understand, the dude was like really gay. From what I understand.
Gosh.
Okay, so my next question, I know we're running out of time here, so my next question is about real estate. So obviously, real estate is a great business. I for the last couple of years, I told Boggs, I'm close to retirement from the military, and I told Boggs I'm gonna come join them. But I have learned recently in the last few months that real estate is not for me. I don't think it's for me. So, I'm gonna do something else. But there are some young professionals, and obviously you're doing well. Boggs is doing well. Fredo is kind of in the real estate business of sorts. So young, aspiring real estate agents, let's say sorts, he's in the short-term, long-term leases stuff, but, that's Fred, so who really gives a fuck? But what I'm getting at, though, is, some tips, just some, talking to young Mo Money real estate agents. What are some things that you could give off to these maybe wannabe or future real estate agents? What are some good tips or advice?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my advice to you is save up some money before you get into the business. Make sure you have at least 6 months to a year of reserves that can pay your bills, that can get your gas, get your utilities. All that stuff. You need to have some kind of savings set up first. That way, when you get into the business and you don't make a check for 6 months, you're going to be all right. That's the one key thing. And then the next thing is just don't give up, man. Because if you do, you've already failed.
Yeah.
If you go into it with success in your mind and you're not going to give up until your ass is going to be on the street like I was.
Yeah. You were
Yeah.
motivated to sell that house. Let's say it like that. I mean,
Dude, I tell you what, my hustle came back from my tweaker days. Back when I was selling drugs and I was all strung out, I was a hustler. I was out there getting it day in, day out. I brought that shit to the fucking real estate.
Dude, what?
God gave you
Yeah.
that talent a long time ago. You just used it in the wrong places until now. So
Exactly.
So what Danny didn't tell you guys is it's come full circle. He figured out where to find the best real estate places to sell for the new manufacturing plants. And so that way he just lined up with drug dealers and said, dude, I'll move you over to some really plush real estate. You said you're close to your customers, the popo ain't around as much, right? And like, dude, we need this guy right there. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's a good, great gated community. So
Right, gated community. You're gonna have a heads up if they're coming in. Yeah. I got to ask this, and it's completely off related, the real estate topic. But dude, what drug was the most like addictive that you did?
man, that's a tough one, man. I think it would be all of them.
No, good question. All of the above, right there.
Yeah, all the above, man. It's like this one guy. He says, what was your drug of choice? And his answer was more.
What?
He didn't give a fuck what it was. Just give me more.
Damn, I like this guy already. We could be buddies. So,
Yeah.
so what are you addicted to now?
yeah,
I'm addicted to God.
There you go.
I
Nice.
really
you have to have a vice, though. I mean, God is
You have to
good,
have a
dude.
vice, right?
What is it? What is it? You playing some Call of Duty, bro?
Oh yeah.
There it is. There's the crack
I
fiend.
go to bed at like 7.
That's what I'm
man.
gonna do. You play some Call of Duty? It's like, you ever suck dick
Right.
for Call of Duty? Man,
Got the Call of Duty.
Oh, damn.
Oh man. No, I strangely enough, my life is so simple now. I just don't have any I don't have any hobbies. I don't have shit really. I just got my family. I got real estate, and I got God, and it's just I'm okay with that.
I don't believe
Maybe
so.
things will change.
Okay, so what's your?
I don't know.
You and the wife, you and Jessica are watching some good TV shows at least. I mean, you got to do something.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're asking. Like, what is your vice?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you have to have
You
some
have
kind
to
of
have
vice,
something,
right?
bro.
Yeah.
You motherfucker ain't cooking
Yeah.
with an apron all the time and be like, I love my life. Get off. Like,
Who wants the next burger?
there's something in
Yeah,
your
well-
life that's bringing you joy. What is it?
Yeah, I think it's just we spend time together. We talk a lot together. Me and my wife. She's very intellectual. She's very her thought process. This is what attracted me to her. Is she's just so damn smart. She's very freaking smart, and she grabs my attention when we're talking. Like I don't know, I can just be doing anything, and I just love to hear what she has to say. But as far as doing things together, we cook together, we watch shows together. We go out to eat together. See some family. That's about it. But when we're together, it's like quality time for her. That's her love language, quality time.
Yeah.
My love language is touch, but isn't all men's.
Especially in certain places, right?
Especially in certain places.
Is that my no-no spot? Because, oh, yeah.
But I probably do need to get into something, though. I've been thinking in my heart, I need to, Jake. And that Kairos deal, I'm going to tell you right now, I got a brother in prison that's been there for 20 years, and he actually did that Kairos thing, too. And he said,
wow.
man, that's some real powerful shit.
It was
Like,
pretty
kudos
cool,
to you, man.
Yeah. So I've not toot my own horn. I volunteer 2-3 times a month at my church. I work on the audio visual team, so all this stuff. And it came to it. Like I told my wife, I was like, I want something more. I'm looking for something else. Like, what else can I do? And then this kind of fell on my plate, and I was like, shh. And I happened to know a guy at church that was like, hey man, I was been praying about it, and God told me to ask you to come join this team with me. And I'm like, well, no shit, I was like, I've been looking for something, so it kind of all fell in place. And
Right there.
so
Yep.
I think
That's
Brett has
probably
a
what's going to
question.
happen to me.
Dallas, you had a question?
Hey, I don't know why Bogsy couldn't ask you this himself, but he wanted me to ask you. So, do you still have a connection with, I don't know, the green stuff, the weed, the mota, so for some
Oh
motivation?
my gosh, dude, I did not ask that, but I gave up my biker days, bro. I don't transport that shit anymore.
Dude, where'd Jake
And
go?
man, well, I, it's always possible.
Now, once again, though, Danny, you don't get this, but Jake leaves us all the time like this. He just disappears, dude. It's always about what he wants, not about hanging with us.
Yes.
No,
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's never like,
Yeah.
hey
no,
guys, give me
no,
a
dude, I
second, I'll be
really.
right
Okay.
back or anything, but he just
Oh, there's
phew,
that.
gone.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
He doesn't
shit,
even.
you got to take a piss, man. You gotta
Bro,
You know
go.
what? First off, the audience is not supposed to know I left because we're not live recording this right now.
we
So,
are live
well,
recording.
we
It's
are, but
live
like,
recording.
we're not on Facebook. So that's what I'm saying. They didn't know I
Oh,
left, but now
damn.
our listeners know that I left because I had to pee, dude. I've been pinching my dick for the last 15
Uh,
minutes, dude. Like I had to pee so bad. Um,
bro, I feel you. And by the way,
Damn
YouTube
it.
says, well, fuck you then, because YouTube's pretty cool. That's what
oh, are
YouTube
we on
says,
YouTube?
but
Oh, we are.
whatever.
Oh, that's right. We are
Yeah,
live. That's
we're
right.
on
Okay,
YouTube. Yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah.
I forgot about that. So,
Damn,
Yes.
YouTube's gonna no wonder our channel ain't going anywhere.
oh, geez.
Uh, well, what I will say, I know we got to get wrapped up, dude. Danny, I appreciate you coming on here and sharing your story. It's a very powerful one. Uh, I always feel bad that you and I both talked about this earlier. We're always hustlers. We're very blessed with business and clients that trust us. And the downside of that is that we don't get to really sort of take a chill and just get to hang with each other, right? And sort of like camaraderie with our buddies sometimes. So we need to work on
Amen.
that though.
Amen.
Yes.
I want to know, does anybody have a good joke? Because I was trying to find, and I was going to push the envelope, but I was trying to find some really good drug jokes just because I thought it was funny. And a couple I found were not that great. It was like, so I don't know. Does anybody have any other good jokes out there?
I got one, but it's not a drug joke. It's a physician joke. Will that work?
Oh, whatever. Yeah, physics. Oh, there you
Okay.
go.
So I
Yeah.
went I went to go check out my doctor's the other day, man, and he told me straight up, Dallas, you need to stop masturbating. I said, bro, like why? Why do I need to stop masturbating? He said, because I'm trying to examine you right now.
Wow. Gosh, dang it. And you know what? I have a feeling that's not a joke. That's like something that happened 2 weeks ago at a
True
damn.
story. True story.
That would be
Damn it,
that's how you
boy.
roll. These Georgia
He
guys, dude, they cannot stop
hey,
touching their weens, dude. It's weird.
he had a great set of legs,
All right,
bro.
I got to go. This
Gosh.
guy, he's like, I'm not so much in the legs. I like a nice butt, but still, legs are good though. All right, why don't they ever have a pregnant Barbie?
Oh wow. Wow. I don't know.
No,
That's pretty
I'm not
good.
touching that
Ken
one.
came in another box
Whoa. What'd you just say?
because Ken came in another box.
Oh my God. Ken comes in a separate box. Oh, oh damn.
That's pretty good, right?
That's a good one.
There's some guy I
Uh,
follow on TikTok, and I got that from him. I wish I had my phone on me because he does these jokes on his mom, and what's funny about it is his mom does not find him humorous at all because they're all sexual in nature, but his dad's always in the background laughing, like, and then the mom looks at the dad like, "Are you going to encourage this?" And the dad's like, "What do you want me to do?" Like that's why I love him. So, yeah, that's how I learned that from him. So, whatever the guy on TikTok is, kudos to you, brother.
you can't even give him a shout
I
out. You
don't,
never remember his
I don't have my
name.
phone. I left it in the room, so I don't even know. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
dang it.
yeah, I'll get it to you.
Well, Mo Money, you got any good jokes out there?
Well, let's see. Here's an old one. What do you call a lesbian dinosaur?
Oh, I know
Oh,
this one. I think. Yeah,
Lick a lot of pussy,
yeah,
something
look
like
at a
that.
lot of.
Yeah, lick a lot of puss. There you
Yeah,
go.
hey, that's a classic, dude. I love it. Oh, well, I've said some pretty dirty ones in the last. So I think I'm just trying to take a break if you guys are cool with that, unless you
fine,
guys
dude.
have something else.
Well, I mean, I
Yeah.
have another dirty joke if you don't have one.
Well, go for it, yeah, dude.
So
Yeah, go for it.
why was the snowman smiling so much?
I don't
Because he
know.
saw the snowblower coming.
Uh,
All right, that's all I got for you.
well, damn.
Nice.
Well, all right. The one question I have for Dallas is: if you went camping and woke up with a condom hanging out your ass, would you say anything?
I mean,
Okay, so give me some
awkward.
more background on the story.
Would you?
Is it just men
Awkward.
there, or
No.
are there other ladies?
Would you tell anybody? Would you tell anybody?
That's so awkward, Boggs. We already talked about this, okay?
Oh, I need more information to be able to.
If you said no, then let's go camping.
I thought you were really asking a
Right into
question.
that
I was
one.
like, hold on now.
He's, he's so gay.
He's supposed to
man.
say
He's
no,
just
and then
so
we'll say, "You want to
gay.
go camping?" And that's the joke, right?
Why would I say no?
That's
I've
the
already known this
joke.
joke.
Gosh dang it! I guess you do, yeah.
Yeah.
Set me up.
Y'all been camping before. That's why.
Well, Danny, when we always end a podcast, we have a saying. I'm going to start it off. Mine is live it up and level up every single day. Do you have a saying that you go by?
Or a motto that you like to live by.
Yeah.
Like mine, stay positive,
Man.
my friends.
Wow. I guess mine would probably be trusting God, man.
Amen, brother.
Oh, there you go.
Amen.
That's the big one for me right there.
Mic drop.
Yep.
Nice. Can't argue with that one. What, Fredo, what's yours?
Always live every day like it's your last, because you never know what tomorrow brings.
There you go. Wow. Well, on behalf of Brotastic Voyage, I want to thank you for coming on, Danny Moman. It's been excellent. We'll have to talk more about real estate.
Brother.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me, man. It's nice meeting you
Absolutely.
guys, too.
Absolutely,
We're gonna have
brother.
to have him back on, because
shit.
there's a lot of questions I did not get to touch on, as always.
Oh, of course. We're yeah. If Danny's cool with that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, hell yeah. We
Okay.
know we need to meet up and have a beer someday, guys, or something.
I mean, I
Good with that.
support that message too. You know,
Amen.
if we get a good station in Orlando,
Listen.
you're welcome to come down and swim in my pool.
That's right.
Swim in my pool that I'm definitely gonna buy. So
Nice. Well, if you ever come down here, you can come to mine too. We got one.
Well, unlike Jake, I've held my peace, so I got to go. So I'm going to say bye.
Peace.
Bye,
Have a
guys.
blessing.
Y'all have a good one.
Bonzo, let's play some Xbox.
Yeah, yeah.
Xbox, man. I'll suck your dick.